coming up on 7:59 on your Friday morning drive. Look at the traffic cameras here. We're getting a little bit busier out there. This is I-5 up near Columbia Boulevard. That southbound commute slowing just a bit through North Portland. But again, Monday through Thursday would be a lot worse than we are out there right now, right? And that's typically the case on Friday mornings. Here's one slow spot over near Johnson Creek Boulevard, northbound I-205 there, puttering along at less than 20 miles an hour. So that'll take a few extra minutes to get you up to the Banfield. And as we look over to the west side, there's some patchy fog here and there showing up on some of our traffic cameras. Right now, it's a 20-minute commute to get you in from Hillsborough. Rod?
All right, Chris, thanks for that. Weather's pretty quiet. We've had some scattered showers overnight, so we've got kind of varying degrees of roads that are a little wet and roads that have now dried out. Here's Snookwiz Casino Resort in Lincoln City. Cloudy skies, but dry. Some breaks over downtown Portland at this hour. Temperature still really mild, 52 degrees. This is a day with a shower threat, but overall, mainly dry weather expected. Temperatures anywhere from about 56 to 60 for a high. Best chance of rain this weekend overall will be Sunday afternoon.
Back pay headed to federal workers as the government shutdown comes to an end. Coming up this morning, why experts say it could take months for air travel to return to normal.
Also coming up this hour, the state of Oregon wants to know why it took Intel 2 months to announce a round of layoffs that happened back in September. Also on the way.
We're celebrating someone who changed Black history, and I think that's good to celebrate.
65 years ago on this day, Ruby Bridges became the first Black child to walk into an all-white school in the South. Now, Portland students are honoring her in a special way this morning and later.
All right, you're gonna take this little worm and you're gonna offer him food.
Here you go, Rocky. Like the great heavyweight champion before him, this Rocky has been knocked down but not out yet. We're talking about the Manzama newt. It's only found at Crater Lake, the only spot in the world, and they are fighting for survival. We'll let you know how the Oregon Zoo is helping out in a new Drew at the Zoo at 8:45.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. We also have Chris and Rod on board here to kick off the 8 o'clock hour of the show. Rod, let's talk about your Friday forecast.
Yeah, a pretty good day today. The stretch of mild days and mild nights, right? Like 50 at night, 60 during the day. We're still in that range. We are watching, so FYI on this, a very, very rainy morning up in Seattle, but you've got to get up to basically near to north of Chehalis to start picking up that rain. Portland down through Salem, we've been mainly dry over the last handful of hours. This still shows some wet roadways from overnight showers, looks to me like in Salem. Our live camera there, low cloud cover, 52 degrees. A little bit of a brighter, drier look here in Portland, and we're at 52 degrees as well. So our day moving forward, 50s to about 60 degrees. We carry a shower threat, but again, if you're watching and you have plans to be outdoors for 4 or 5, 6 hours today, your odds of staying completely dry are pretty good. We'll have your complete weekend forecast coming up. Here's Chris.
And Rod, to that point, it looks like the freeways, which were maybe a little damp earlier, are starting to dry out. That's I-5 up near Columbia Boulevard, and you can certainly see evidence that the road's dried out a bit. You can also see the drive starting to slow down just a bit through North Portland. Right now, the tripping from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge up to about 14 minutes. So that's about as slow as it's been so far this morning, which is not bad. Over on the east side, I-205 over near Johnson Creek Boulevard, that northbound commute moving along at a little less than 20 miles an hour. We'll switch gears and take you down to north side of Wilsonville. A little foggy on that side of town, but so far no major issues getting in from the south. Right now it's a 21-minute ride from Wilsonville Road into downtown. Drew, China?
All right, thank you, Chris. Government services are beginning to return to normal operations following the end of the nation's longest ever federal shutdown.
Which means hundreds of thousands of furloughed workers will have to address the more than 6-week backlog of work. For others, that they are waiting to get paid for the time they spent working without a paycheck. Emmy Kiley has the latest.
Some functions of the federal government are getting back online quickly post-shutdown. Others face impediments. The Agriculture Secretary says SNAP benefits should go out by Monday at the latest.
It's moving, it's coming, and for those who really depend on it, good news is on the way.
Officials say certain federal employees should start getting back pay today. Some agencies warn it could take another week to make their staffs whole.
One factor that is hampering it is a lot of these payroll offices have been cut down in size as part of the early downsizing efforts that the administration took very early on in President Trump's term.
Officials say such layoffs also were complicating efforts to get heating and utilities assistance to qualified Americans. Meanwhile, the Smithsonian says it's opening its museums and zoo on a rolling basis starting today. The National Gallery says it'll be fully open by tomorrow. Conservationists say some national parks are dealing with litter and graffiti after operating with skeleton crews. As for air travel, the FAA continues to cut flights as air traffic controllers return to work. But Delta Airlines CEO sounds optimistic.
I think we'll be back a lot faster than people think. Thanksgiving is going to be a great holiday period to travel.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem announced a $10,000 bonus for TSA agents who provided, quote, exemplary service. Exemplary service is defined as not calling out during the shutdown and also picking up extra shifts to help fill the gaps created by staffing shortages. We did have a news crew at the Portland airport yesterday. TSA lines were moving smoothly and travelers, for the most part, seemed to be in pretty good spirits.
Our flight from here to Denver wasn't affected, but the Denver to Orlando flight was. And so Southwest rebooked us for a later flight so that our layover wasn't too long. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, we were a little nervous, but I was like, you know what, let's just go for it. Because sometimes it can be inflated, and let's see. And it's worked out so far.
According to flypdx.com, there are 18 flight cancellations on the board today. Of course, that number could change, so you can check your flight status before you head to the airport.
While airlines are optimistic they can get back on track within a few days, the regional director of the Air Traffic Controllers Union told us that it could take months for air travel to return to normal. She expects the ongoing 6% reduction in flights to continue through the holidays and points out controllers were already at critical staffing before the shutdown. She says many workers were forced to take other jobs to pay their bills, and she's worried some won't return.
The impacts of the government shutdown are really unknown at this point. It's going to take a few months until our pay and we're made whole and all of those issues are rectified, as well as what does that look like for trainees that were coming into this profession.
There's more here. It turns out that many controllers in the Northwest took early retirement and new controller training stopped. You can watch our full interview with the director of Straight Talk this weekend or anytime on our free TV app, KGW+.
Several people are without a home this morning after a fire in Vancouver late last night. Firefighters responded to this duplex on Southeast Morgan Road near Wintler Park just after 11 o'clock and told us one person was treated for smoke inhalation. Fire investigators are working to determine the cause.
Intel laid off more than 600 employees back in September, but waited more than 2 months to notify the state. This round of layoffs was directed at facilities in Loa and Hillsboro. It's unclear why the filing was delayed until this week. The tech giant slashed thousands of Oregon jobs this year while scrambling to secure federal investment and close a major deal with NVIDIA. Under the WARN Act, employers are generally required to provide at least a 60-day notice to both employees and state and local representatives before a mass layoff, which applies to employers with 100 or more employees. Happening now, students at several schools in our area are walking to school to honor Ruby Bridges.
So it was on this day 65 years ago that a 6-year-old Ruby Bridges became the first black child to walk into an all-white school in the South. That happened in Louisiana. We have Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz in Northwest Portland. He's talking about the Ruby Bridges celebration happening today at Forest Park Elementary. Thomas?
Hey, good morning, guys. And yeah, that walk just wrapped up. Students making that 10 to 15-minute hike up the hill from where we were at that coffee shop down below the hill where Forest Park Elementary is just a few minutes ago. Let's show you what that looked like. Dozens of students along with their parents and school administrators, school teachers, all walking to commemorate Ruby Bridges, who once again 65 years ago desegregated a school in New Orleans as part of a court mandate to desegregate schools all across Louisiana. You can see all these kids really excited to be out here this morning. We talked to a couple of them who are really just happy to be part of the commemoration. Before we get to them, though, I want to show you this footage from Bridges walking into that school 65 years ago today in New Orleans. Right here, she's being escorted by federal marshals into the school. And by walking through the doors, the 6-year-old put a stamp on a court order mandating desegregation of schools all across the state. She immediately became a symbol of the civil rights movement as well. Here's what some of those kids and a parent had to say about her today.
We're celebrating someone who changed Black history, and I think that's good to celebrate.
I think it's really important to teach our children today, like what life was like a long time ago and the progress we've made as a nation.
And here's the thing, kids here at Forest Park Elementary, teachers tell us, parents tell us as well, they've been learning about Ruby Bridges for quite some time now, so this is not a one-day event for them. They've been learning about Ruby and the courage she showed, the courage her family showed 65 years ago as a 6-year-old walking through those doors. And it's not just Portland who's commemorating her today. Salem Kaiser is going to have an event for her as well, another walk where elementary kids will walk out at 8:15 this morning. Guys.
Thomas Schultz reporting live for us this morning. Thank you, Thomas. All right, your time now, 8:09. Headed over to Rod Hill for a look at the weather.
Yeah, nice dry morning there. At least it looks like at Thomas's location. And while there may be a shower or two scattered about, we just haven't seen reports of anything over the last several hours at this point. And a reminder that the National Weather Service radar here in Portland is down. It's not working. Now, with that said, Futurecast, we know there has been some rain up near Astoria, if not just maybe to the north, up around Long Beach at times this morning. This shows that's still a potential at 9 o'clock this morning. But overall today, shower threat up here to Portland's north, but from Portland southward, very little. So this looks to be a mainly dry Friday. We are seeing a mixture of some breaks in the cloud cover, but also some low cloud spots. This is the Oregon Garden out in Silverton. You can see the clouds, the low clouds kind of foggy, nipping the trees as you look down over the Oregon Garden itself out there in that parts of the valley. So that's an overcast morning. Downtown Portland, this is kind of cool. You see the low clouds. You can see the sun rising and some breaks up there. It's very mild out again. 52 degrees is the temperature. Other numbers, we've got some 40s. Let's see, Troutdale, Gresham, Oregon City, all at 49 degrees this morning. Winds generally light in the valley, 52 in Salem, 52 in Albany. And the weather map later today, just crazy mild. Everybody's in the same batch of air. We've got 60 in Pendleton, nearing 60 in Bend, 60 in Albany. We've got generally just a dry, partly sunny day, central and eastern Oregon. No problem driving over the Cascade Passes. Timberline above freezing today, and temperatures on the west side with a shower threat, but most of us staying mainly dry. Will be up close to 60. I've got Portland 59. Showers might increase a little bit this evening and overnight tonight, but much of the day tomorrow is a scattered shower threat with a mix of dry time. Sunday afternoon shows potential to be the wettest part of your weekend. We'll see how it plays out. Here's Chris.
Rod, thank you for that. Let's get a gander here across some of our freeway cameras. There's one of them in North Portland. That's I-5 up near Columbia Boulevard. We've got a little bit of local slowing there, but again, just putting this in perspective, while you see we're moving along at about 15 miles an hour there, a drive time like this, pretty good by most people's standards, I think. 13 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Over on the west side, we're riding the brakes a little bit coming down the hill from the zoo into the Vista Ridge Tunnel. Highway 26, again, not bad. 17 minutes gets you in from Hillsborough. While things are quiet now, let me give you an early heads up for next week. Monday night, there's another full closure of I-5, both directions, south of town, from the Markham Bridge to the Terwilliger Curves, as ODOT continues for that sign bridge installation. It's closed overnight from 11 until 5 a.m. Tuesday. Your traffic solution to get around this is Barber Boulevard. China, there are more closures coming up in the weeks ahead, and we'll be sure to highlight each one as they approach.
All right, thank you, Chris. We are taking a live look from our Skycam in Pioneer Courthouse Square, where this year's Christmas tree has arrived.
Coming up next here on the Sunrise Show, we'll have reporter Corey Johnson breaking down some of the local happenings during the holiday season.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. weather impact alert days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We are less than 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving, which means we're about 41 days away from Christmas.
I'll tell you who's keeping track of all this. Corey Johnson. She is keeping track at Pioneer Courthouse Square this morning, breaking down some of the local happenings. And, oh, Corey, I'm sorry. I see that you've moved from the square. You're now in the toy box right here at KGW.
Yes.
So what do you got for us?
I'm in the toy box. We're talking all things Christmas season and also the events that you can take part in that will get you into the holiday cheer. So getting into those today, the Portland Holiday Market is set to return for its 5th year. You can explore hundreds of artists and vendors, festive workshops, and family fun at the Portland Expo Center. That's set for the next 3 days, starting at 10 a.m. each day. Then there's the Winter Wonderland at Portland International Racetrack. That's where you can stay in your car, cruise around the racetrack looking at all the beautiful Christmas lights. And speaking of lights, the Oregon Zoo's Brew Lights event is set to happen today and tomorrow. But don't forget that event is 21 and older. You can cut loose without the kids or daytime crowds and enjoy dozens of breweries, cideries, live music, food carts, all the things. Then Zoo Lights for all of the family fun is set for next Friday, the 21st. Also on the 21st, head on over to the Silverton Christmas Market that opens up that day. Now, this past Wednesday, Portland's Christmas tree arrived to Pioneer Courthouse Square officially. I was there for that arrival, and it was definitely magical. Over the next few weeks, that tree will be lit up with 9,500 lights. And so the day after Christmas, on November 28th, that's when people can head back at 5:30 to the square to see Santa flip the switch and really light it up there. And if you love coming down to the square, those were just events that I was telling you about in November. For December, on December 12th, you can make your way back to the square for the 11th annual Great Figgy Pudding caroling competition that's set to take place from 6 to 8 that night. So lots of events happening, Drew and China, that will get everybody locally into the holiday spirit.
Ideally, Corey, if we put you in that toy box in a couple of weeks, we won't be able to see you because you'll be covered up by toys. Here's how you can help out. Here's how you can add to the toy box. You can make a donation online, make a cash donation at kgw.com/toy. Let us do the toy shopping for you. You can also, when you go to that site, shop from the KGW Great Toy Drive wish list. And then there's always the old-fashioned way. You can drop off new unwrapped toys at any IQ credit union, any Fred Meyer, or any local Toyota dealership.
I do the easy thing of I go to Fred Meyer. They got that great big toy selection area.
Yep.
Pick out my toys, drop them in the
There you
bins
go.
on the way out the door, and mission accomplished.
Old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
You walk in with nothing, and you walk out with nothing because you donate your purchase.
Yes. I mean, when you say it like that, it sounds horrible. I walk in with nothing, and I walk out with nothing. But the in-between part's really fun.
Oh, that matters.
Okay, all right. Here we go. Let's check out rainfall totals. We've got 86 100s up in Astoria. Been very little fall up there this morning. Radar's been showing some rain up in this area. Portland just 1/10 of an inch. This is going back the last 2 days. Salem 19 100s. And then where it's really been wet, besides Astoria, is up. Hoquiam's got 1.4. Olympia's nearly an inch. Seattle's now an inch. It's been raining from Olympia northward all morning. Kelso 25 100s. Vancouver about the same as PDX. Of course, Pearson right there along the Columbia River. Here is the rain up to our north this morning. There's a front up here. That's why Seattle's got all this rain. This is not expected to drop to the south. However, these clouds spilling right here, this is with a warm push that I think has a chance to push inland, but that at some point this evening or overnight tonight. The timing is not certain. But if that happens, we would see increasing rain this evening, overnight tonight here in the Rose City. But right now, some showers exiting out toward Pendleton, out over the Blues. Oregon is mainly dry. A reminder, the airport, not the airport, but the National Weather Service radar, which is actually located up near Scappoose, is not working. So we don't have the eyes on potential shower activity that we normally would have. Now, with that said, Futurecast 9 o'clock this morning doesn't show much. Here we are, 4 o'clock this afternoon. Best chance of rain continues to be up north of Vancouver and around Astoria and northward. Very possible that Portland stays dry today. Very possible that Salem stays dry today. Here's that push of moisture increasing. This is overnight tonight. That could be into us tomorrow morning. And then we'd see things kind of fizzle during the day with a lingering scattered shower threat for your Saturday. Some live cameras for you. Here's the Vancouver, the Springs at the waterfront vantage point. A lot of cloud cover, but some sun peeking through, giving it kind of a cool look of the Columbia. Boy, the interstate bridge looks like traffic's moving just fine. Chris has been reporting in many spots his Friday light. Here's the Pioneer Park building. Camera looking down at the square, and they've got the crews out there working on putting the branches back on and getting our tree ready for the decorations. The Christmas tree lighting again is 2 weeks from tonight. Pardon me, 2 weeks from tonight. All right, 50 up in Seattle where it's raining, 52 in Portland dry, Salem dry, 52. We do have a 37 out in Burns, but everybody's been holding above freezing. And really today, there are some fog pockets around. There's a shower chance, but basically lots of dry time, and a similar situation up in Southwest Washington. 7-day forecast numbers for the area show 59 today, 60 tomorrow. The best chance of rain overall for the weekend comes Sunday afternoon. We'll see how it plays out. Here is Chris McGinnis.
Thank you for that. Let's get you out the door with a look at the roads. And there's a little fog or maybe some low clouds down in Tualatin, not impacting the drive at this point. Quick look at some of the other freeway cameras here. There's North Portland I-5 up near Columbia Boulevard. Again, we've got some slowing there, but the drive this morning really in pretty good shape. Westbound I-84 rolling through the Hollywood district towards I-5. Of course, we've got the normal slowing there, and I pointed out the fog down near Bridgeport. Here's a look at your drive times right now. Really in good shape. 16 minutes right now on the Sunset to get you in from Hillsborough. No problems on I-84. Of course, it does get a little slower as you approach I-5, but these are barely registering in the drive time fund meter this morning. Shina, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Still ahead, how one Washington woman's final gift saved several lives, including one from Oregon. We have that story after the break.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Police are still trying to find the hit-and-run driver who killed a 23-year-old woman in Tacoma 12 years ago. Rachel Givens was a two-sport athlete, basketball and soccer, and a two-time state champion. But after the hit-and-run, paramedics declared her brain dead. Her mother donated Rachel's organs, a donation that wound up changing the lives of 5 other people, including one in Oregon.
She was able to give sight to 2 people. Her heart went to a grandmother. Her lungs went to Linda Merritt in Oregon.
Rachel's story is changing hearts and minds.
According to Life Center Northwest, one donor can save 8 lives and heal more than 75 others. There's about 3,000 people in the Pacific Northwest waiting for a transplant right now.
And now to your morning rush. A federal jury in Chicago has ordered Boeing to pay more than $28 million to a family person killed in the 737 MAX plane crash in Ethiopia in 2019. The verdict is the first of dozens of lawsuits filed after the crash in another plane crash in 2018 in Indonesia. Those crashes combined killed a total of 346 people. A Canadian man is facing charges after he allegedly stole a bus in Ontario. It all began when the real driver stopped and got out to take a break. That's when the suspect got on the bus and drove off. Authorities said the passengers on board, they initially thought that he was actually the real bus driver because he made stops. He even denied entry to a passenger who had an expired bus pass. Police safely stopped the unscheduled ride after 15 minutes and took the man into custody. According to new data released Thursday, home foreclosure filings climbed in October after sitting at historic lows in recent years. Foreclosure starts, which are the initial phase of the process, rose 6% for the month and were 20% higher than the year before. And take a look at this video of damage left behind after a house exploded in Detroit yesterday. Officials say the house had been vacant for about 2 years. An investigation is now underway to determine the cause of the explosion, and that's your morning rush.
All right, our next story this morning comes from Sacramento. That's where one person was rescued last night after they got stuck in rising waters. The Sacramento Fire Department says there were actually 2 people and a dog stuck in these waters, but only one of the people wanted assistance.
It wasn't so much that they were in the water, it was that their egress had been cut off. One of the things is this time of year, we have to start thinking about the fact that the levees are going to start to be utilized again, water levels are going to be rising, and that they need to look at either moving to higher ground or being prepared to leave when we get weather of the situations prior to their egress being cut off.
We have no update this morning on the person who chose not to receive help. Coming up here at 8:30, OHSU and thousands of its workers bargaining for a year at this point, and it's still not over yet. We're going to have an update on where things stand. And we'll also share this story about a harbor seal who escaped killer whales by jumping onto a boat. Again, that story coming your way in our 8:30 half hour.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm Drew Carney. U.S. Marshals arrested a third person suspected of killing a Gresham teenager earlier this year. In late April, 13-year-old Liam Sponley Bailey was asleep when a stray bullet came through the wall and killed him. Authorities launched a nationwide manhunt to find 3 suspects. They had already arrested Anthony Hunter Jr. and Xavier Hirsch. 17-year-old Terrell Coy was also taken into custody this week, yesterday afternoon. All right, Rod Hill, what do you have for us in the Weather Center?
Pretty quiet morning out there. A mixed bag of some areas kind of foggy. Other areas are seeing some breaks in the cloud cover. Portland's been kind of back and forth. There's a little thinness looking out over the West Hills right now. 52 is the temperature. It's another crazy mild start and another day that will see most of us light winds. Temperatures well up into the 50s, maybe reaching 60. We again carry this shower threat in the forecast, but overall, mainly dry weather is a pretty good bet in any one location. We have some showers picking up overnight tonight and then back to a shower chance during the day tomorrow. Sunday afternoon has the potential to be a little bit more on the rainy side.
Good morning. We start this 8:30 half hour of Sunrise with Blue Origin's new Glenn rocket on its way to space, and it's carrying 2 satellites destined for Mars. The launch comes after several attempts were scrubbed this week due to weather and solar flares. NASA's Mars probe will be deployed on a 22-month journey to study the red planet, which I think is hot. Is it hot or cold? It's hot. That one's hot.
It's all over the place, isn't it?
Both?
Christopher?
It's hot and cold.
Yeah, it's
it
all
has
over
no
the
atmosphere,
place.
right? Or
Yeah.
very little. So
It's all over the place.
We're going to get our best scientists on this to get back to you on that.
About the time the weatherman says it's 70 and sunny, it's minus 325 degrees. So it's really cold.
Okay.
All right, next
I saw
topic.
this movie. You had to be in a spacesuit there. Well, we can go on. Never mind.
Physics. Let's talk physics now. Shall we, Ron?
Let's do it. That's exciting news, though, right? I mean, doing more and more stuff around Mars. Here we go. Satellite image. We've got a rainy morning in Seattle. We've had some rain, according to radar, over Long Beach and Astoria. But when I check surface observations, I don't see a whole lot going on. We do have mainly cloudy skies between Portland and Salem, varying degrees of clouds that break from time to time, and some areas have low clouds. You can see it kind of foggy in the trees behind the state capitol there as we look at the mall in Salem, 52 degrees. Here's the downtown Portland shot from the Rose City, 52 degrees as well. Really, really comfortable stuff. So another day with a shower threat. But remember, for the last couple of days, I've been telling you Friday looks to be fairly dry. And we could potentially just stay completely dry in Portland today. There's a shower threat. Temperatures in the 50s to about 60 degrees. Looks like all dry in Central Oregon. At 4 o'clock, this shows Sun River 52 and Bend 57. We have temperatures in the 50s out across eastern Oregon. South winds have been spiking a little bit, gusting to about 25 this morning up in Astoria, by the way. Your high today, 56. And it is this northern area with the best chance of rain overall here on the west side, up around Astoria and into Kelso-Longview. Look for some increasing rain coming through the area overnight tonight. Then back to a scattered shower threat during the day on Saturday. We could hit 60. Another mild morning too, 51. Sunday afternoon, this is not a guarantee, but if there is a period of time with a front approaching that it's just going to be raining for a handful of hours, it would be Sunday afternoon. So plan your weekend festivities accordingly. Here is Chris.
Rod, thank you for that. Let's get you out the door. I've got one trouble spot right now. I want to zoom in from our Wells Fargo sky camera. It looks like we've got a crash on the east end of the Hawthorne Bridge. And I think if you look closely, you can see some sort of incident responder there. So the westbound right lane, that's the lane that is not covered by that span there, is blocked at this point. So obviously some slowing getting around that. Elsewhere on the Freeway Drive, inbound Sunset, riding the brake a little bit coming down the hill from the zoo, but not bad. 17 minutes to get you in from Hillsboro is a pretty good commute, and that's where it stands right now. The I-5 drive out of Clark County, not bad either. 14 minutes now, Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Drew?
All right, thank you, Chris. A Multnomah County grand jury cleared 3 Portland police officers of criminal charges surrounding an in-custody death this past summer.
It happened after officers arrested 52-year-old Damon Lamar Johnson in North Portland. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us with more on the story, including what the medical examiner had to say about Johnson's death. Corey?
Drew, China local officials held a press conference yesterday to discuss the medical examiner's findings following the court's decision, and a warning: the body camera video you're about to see is quite graphic. The video shows Johnson resisting and struggling with officers inside the apartment. Police eventually got him into handcuffs and restricted his movement. Now, at one point, officers questioned whether he was breathing. Johnson had been restrained in the same position, face down in handcuffs, for 4 minutes. And when medics got to the scene, they provided CPR before Johnson was taken to the hospital, where he later died. Multnomah County DA Nathan Vasquez says his office plans to release transcripts from the grand jury proceedings in the case very soon, or as soon rather, as they can be compiled.
The medical examiner ruled that Mr. Johnson died from prone restraint cardiac arrest with a contributing cause of acute methamphetamine intoxication.
We're going to do a review of all the actions taken by the officers, make sure they're consistent with our training and our policy.
Now, at that press conference, Chief Bob Day also added that he hadn't yet considered whether to make the results of that investigation public. China?
Corey, thank you. U.S. Marshals have arrested the third and final person suspected in the killing of Gresham teenager. In late April, 13-year-old Liam Spanley Bailey was asleep when authorities say a stray bullet came through the wall, killing him. That launched a nationwide manhunt, resulting in the arrest of Anthony Hunter Jr., Xavier Hirsch, and now 17-year-old Terrell Coy, who was taken into custody yesterday afternoon.
Contract negotiations between OHSU and the union, representing thousands of its workers, have been dragging on now for close to a year.
Earlier this month, the union declared an impasse. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz spoke with OHSU's president about the negotiations.
OHSU President Dr. Sharif Al-Nahal told us that he expects to have a contract agreement reached sometime in the next couple of months. That's welcome news for a lot of workers, thousands of them, including custodians, painters, pharmacists, and therapists who have long been pushing for a better contract and better wages. Representatives for the union tell us that some of the lowest paid workers right now make $18 an hour. By the end of the contract, they'd like to see all their workers make at least $27 an hour. OHSU has said they are pushing to reach an agreement that honors workers while also ensuring its own financial stability.
Our bargaining teams are negotiating in good faith, and we really want to get to a deal. I anticipate that we will. And so I'm optimistic that we'll be able to get to a good contract for our members.
So Al-Nahal is optimistic, but these workers could still strike soon. A strike authorization vote started Sunday. It'll be open until next Tuesday, right before the next mediation session. Union leaders say while it's heartening to hear Al-Nahal believes a deal can be reached soon, they say they haven't seen the same sentiment at the bargaining table. Also important to note here, we asked OHSU if there is a strike, how would that impact patient care? They say it really shouldn't impact it at all. All services will continue as business as usual. In Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
A boat filled with photographers ended up saving a harbor seal who was being hunted by a pod of orcas in Washington. So this happened in the Salish Sea earlier this month. The photographers watched the killer whales follow the seal for more than a half an hour until it noticed that their boat and made a beeline for it.
He is on our boat. You're good, just stay, buddy.
So the seal hung out on the platform as the orcas circled. At one point, they even lined up to create a wake to knock the seal off, but he was able to get back on. And the photographers say that they didn't physically interfere, and the whales gave up after about 15 minutes. The seal stayed with them as they boated closer to shore, then eventually jumped off safe and sound.
My goodness. No problems like that out on the roadways today, Chris.
No, I mean, questions like, wouldn't you worry about the amount of orcas around the boat? Like, they could do something to the boat, right? I don't know. Anyway, let me get you back to this, which is the Hawthorne Bridge. We had an earlier crash westbound. Looks like that has just cleared and traffic is now rolling again. So happy to report that. We should, or is it? Or is it? Hold on. Yes, it is. Okay, sorry about that. We are back in good shape on that side of town. All right, back to the Sunset, Highway 26. Coming down the hill from the zoo into the tunnel, a little bit of brake tapping there, but the drive times are continuing to be in really good shape. We don't have any major freeway trouble out there this morning. So while we're nice and quiet, let me remind you about this. Coming up next week, Monday night, overnight, I-5, both directions will be closed from the Markham Bridge through the Twilliger Curves as ODOT continues that sign bridge installation. This is the second in a series of closures of I-5 on that stretch of roadway. While the road's closed, you're going to want to use Barber Boulevard. Guys, there are more closures coming up later in the month, and we'll be sure to let you know about each one as they approach.
All right, sounds good, Chris.
I'm trusting you with an endangered species.
Wow.
Don't drop him.
Oh, geez. Okay, I'm going second hand underneath. An endangered species known as the Mazama newt. The only place you'll find them out in the wild is at Crater Lake. Coming up after the break, we'll have a new Drew at the Zoo that explains why this unique salamander is in danger of extinction and what the zoo is doing to save them.
Hey, you know I'm here to save you money every day, and we test a lot of products. We leave the rejects over here. We only send you the best. And this is going to save you some serious money at the dentist. Teeth whitening can cost hundreds, like north of $600. You can do this for a fraction of the price. This is from Pure Sonic. It is their LED teeth whitening solution. The LED part is what makes it go so fast. They say it goes 10 times faster than going to the dentist, and it's a lot cheaper too. They give you the gel. They give you this tray. You literally just turn on the LED light and put it into your mouth like this. I mean, I'll do it for you. Keep it in there for 30 minutes. You're already going to see results. 7 days, you're going to get the results that you want for your teeth whitening. Now, there's another product they have too. It's these teeth whitener pens. This is pretty cool. You just twist it and some gel comes out. Perfect for the road. Perfect if you have headshots or a business meeting. You literally just dry your teeth and then paint it on, and it's instantly going to make your teeth a bit wider. All right, so you have that, and then the other thing you have is this water flosser, rechargeable with the USB. You just turn it on like that, and it works. And there are 3 speeds. 25% off each of these products. You can buy 1, you can buy 3. It's 25% off. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to shoptvdeals.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Next up, a cute story that's a newt story. This morning, we're going behind the scenes at the Oregon Zoo to look at the effort that's underway to rescue these little guys known as Mazama newts. The Mazama newt is a type of salamander, and the only place you'll find them on Earth is at Crater Lake National Park. But the species is also in danger of disappearing altogether. So this morning, we're explaining why they're in danger and what's being done to save them in a newt edition of Drew at the Zoo.
If you look at these gorgeous tails, this is one of their ways to have a lot of strength to swim in Crater Lake.
From their native home at Crater Lake to the conservation lab at the Oregon Zoo, 30 Mazama newts are now living here to save the entire species. The newts used to be one of the lake's top predators until signal crayfish were introduced as a food source for non-native fish. The crayfish population has exploded, and they not only attack the newts, they also devour their food sources and drive them farther out into the lake where they can be eaten by trout. So, conservationists came up with a plan.
We partnered with the Crater Lake ecologists that were snorkeling in the lake for 2 or 3 days looking for the newts. They were put into special little transport containers. I was the nervous mama in the back of the van watching all 30 of our little newts get to come to their new home. This is Rocky.
Have you ever heard Rocky speak?
No.
I have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he says, "Hey, yo, Julie, I could use a little breakfast this morning."
The recovery plan includes breeding Mazama newts here at the zoo and eventually releasing them back into Crater Lake. It also requires a way to reduce the crayfish population and learn everything possible about the newts to give them the best chance at survival.
What is their preferred diet? How much do they need to consume every time they eat? When do they reproduce even? How many offspring do they have? Everything that we need to know is going to be learned in this lab. All right, you're gonna take this little worm and you're gonna offer him food.
Here you go, Rocky.
These newts that are here in this lab are potentially among the last of their species. Crater Lake depends on these animals being a part of the ecology of the lake. We don't know what it means if they're not there any longer, but I don't want to find out either. I'm trusting you with an endangered species.
Wow.
Don't drop him.
Oh, geez. Okay, I'm going second hand underneath. Rob, one more thing we should mention about the zoo tonight. They are doing brew lights. It's actually tonight and tomorrow night at the zoo. And then, of course, we have Zoo Lights, the big event, which kicks off a week from today, next Friday night.
Well, mild temperatures are going to continue tonight and actually through the weekend. So there is an increasing chance, I think, if you're going to be out later this evening to find some rain for your Friday night plans. I'm up here on the KGW weather deck brought to you by Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking. Pretty good breeze up here actually, and it's mostly cloudy, but there are some breaks of blue around. The ground's wet, so you can tell we had some decent showers come through overnight, but we've been mainly dry for the last several hours at this point. Let's get you out the door with your weather forecast on this Friday. If you are taking your day to go up to Seattle, it's been raining up there steadily for hours, and that rain could continue. It's actually kind of a stalled out frontal boundary that's right through that area. That front and rain not coming our direction, but the clouds you see to the left, those clouds could be coming in. That's the chance of rain increasing later this evening with a little fading push of warm air that tries to come in. I mean, we're already pretty warm. All right, how about rain potential? This is this afternoon, tomorrow and Sunday. Shows that story at 76/100ths of an inch, the best chance to get wet, the best chance to get decent rain. Shows Kelso 34/100ths, and it shows a 1/4 of an inch or less from Portland all the way down into Eugene. Now, I think if there is a rain bullseye over the weekend, it will in fact come in 2 spots. Number 1, overnight tonight, and then a better chance of any rain that would be heavier Sunday afternoon. So Sunday afternoon is really the time to kind of think, oh, that could be wet. Better chance of more dry weather, I think, during the day tomorrow. Okay, outside right now, clouds but dry in Lincoln City, our Schnickwins Casino Resort camera. Still hanging on to fewer leaves, but they're still pretty in front of the state capitol in Salem, where it's 53. There's that mild temperature pattern. And here's downtown looking across the Willamette at 52 degrees. Again, a noticeable breeze up here on the deck, and I can see the flags in front of Lincoln High School from where I'm standing as well, and they're blowing pretty good. All right, temperatures other spots of our state, everybody's above freezing. It's 37 in Burns, but look out in Pendleton, 50, and over in Bend, it's 48. Again, all of our 2 states in this same batch of very warm air. So we've seen some morning fog pockets, nothing overly dense or overly widespread. Shower chances in the forecast today, but the bigger headline is just lots of dry time, and maybe in any one location completely dry today. This gives you folks in Salem and Corvallis a chance to get up to 60 degrees. Southwest Washington, Battleground 57, Vancouver 59. Best chance of rain here is where it's been so far over the past handful of hours, and that's north of Vancouver, closer up to Kelso, Longview, and maybe even just north of you folks up into Lewis County. All right, 7-day forecast, 59 today, 51 tonight, increasing showers overnight into morning, and then we're back to just a scattered shower threat during the day on Saturday. Don't forget, Sunday afternoon at least has the potential to be rainy. All right, with all of that said, it is a birthday time. All right, our party on this Friday, Elijah is 2 in Camas. Happy birthday to you. And then also celebrating today is King, 6 years old. Hope you have a fun day today. Kellen is 18. That's a big birthday. I'm sure you've got some fun plans today. Up in Vancouver, happy birthday. Jalen is 20. Happy birthday to you. And Sylvia, speaking of plans for a fun birthday, turning 50 years young today. Happy birthday to you. That's our list, birthdays at KGW.com, and we will celebrate with you. All right, here's Chris McGinnis checking out the roads.
Rod, before we get to the roads, how about the rails? An update from TriMet here. There are some delays on the Max Red Line right now. They're saying because of a mechanical issue near Pioneer Square. So delays on the Red Line, which remember gets you to and from the airport as well, up to 15 minutes through 9 o'clock. We'll stay on top of that for you. The Freeway Drive has been very kind to us on this Friday morning. We'll zoom in. There are a couple of slow spots out there, but not bad. Westbound I-84 a little tight coming out of the Hollywood district towards the Lloyd district and I-5. You can see that if you look really closely, you'll see the ODOT advisory speed signs popping on there, likely showing speeds of about 25 miles an hour or less now getting in from that side of town. All right, switching gears, taking you over to the Sunset again, riding the brakes a little bit there, coming down the hill from the zoo and I-5 through Tualatin. Again, not bad. We could do a lot worse than 18 minutes to get you in from Wilsonville to downtown. Drew, I'm going to pitch it on over to you.
All right, receiving that pitch right here, Chris McGinnis, thank you for that. Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh fell short of becoming this year's American League MVP. It was a close race between him and Yankee slugger Aaron Judge, but Aaron Judge finished in first with 17 first-place votes. Raleigh had 13. Cal did lead the majors in home runs with 60, the most ever by a catcher or a switch hitter. The National League MVP award, by the way, went to Dodgers two-way star Shohei Ohtani, who won his 4th MVP.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Quick recap of our top stories this morning. Intel laid off more than 600 employees in September, but apparently the company waited more than 2 months to notify the state of Oregon. The layoffs impacted facilities in Aloha and Hillsboro. The state is still waiting for an explanation on why the layoffs weren't filed until this week. The regional director of the Air Traffic Controllers Union says it could take months for air travel to return to normal. She expects a 6% reduction in flights to continue through the holiday season. A check of flypdx.com this morning showed 18 canceled flights at the Portland airport. Major changes coming to the Major League Soccer schedule, and that means big changes for the Timbers. So not next year, but But in 2027, the MLS season will start in July instead of February, and it'll end with the playoffs in May. Once this new schedule begins, the only months with no matches will be January and June.
Yeah, it's 7-day forecast. Let's see here, 59 today, kind of partly to mostly cloudy. There's a continuing scattered shower threat, but a lot of us probably will simply be dry. We expect some showers to pick up overnight tonight, then back to a shower threat during the day. Sunday afternoon could be on the wet side.
If you're hopping on the Max red line in the next couple minutes, there are some delays through at least 9 o'clock because of an earlier mechanical issue near Pioneer Square. So just wanted to give you the heads up on that. There is a look at some of the freeway cameras out there. We are doing really A-OK here on a Friday morning. The drive times are really in pretty good shape. No major unexpected freeway trouble out there this morning.
All right, finally, on our last hour of Sunrise, 3 paintings from famous public television legend Bob Ross were sold this week for more than $600,000 at auction in California. 2 of the paintings were done on the air during the episode of The Joy of Painting in the 90s. The paintings were the first of 30 works of art from Ross being sold to benefit public TV stations hurt by cuts in federal funding.
What was missing from that story?
A happy little squirrel.
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
I was expecting to see Bob.
Yeah.
In the fro.
Just
bio footage of Bob Ross.
Oh my goodness. I remember watching The Joy of Painting.
See, I never, well, I mean, I've seen the clips and you know, a lot of people have had some fun at Bob's expense over the years because of the nature of those
happy
those
little
shows.
tree,
You
happy
actually
little
watched.
squirrel. Yeah, I did. I mean, I don't know. It was just, it was the next thing on after Sesame Street. So there you go.
I have noticed, like lately, people are dressing up as Bob Ross for Halloween costumes. Have you seen this? Like, it's been like a trend in recent years. Yes.
It's pretty easy. Just kind of like a button up and the
Yes.
hair.
Make the big hair.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. You want to paint a picture to end the Sunrise Show, Rod? Give us one word, a weather word about the weekend.
Do your outdoor stuff at any time except for Sunday afternoon. That was a phrase.
Yeah.
I like that.
Does that mean it's going to be a little wet at that point?
That's just if there's going to be all-out rain, that's when it would be Sunday afternoon.
And that's the final word on the Sunrise Show this morning. We're back at you on a Monday morning. Between now and then, have a great weekend, and thanks for watching.